Essen, Germany. And we welcome Ian, Two Big Stones. From Great Harwood, England, this man represents the freak shop. He is a veteran puller at 50 years of age and a multiple British national champion and European bronze medalist. His opponent hails from Grasleben, Germany, and Jan Targa is a rising star of world arm wrestling. He represents VfL Wolfsburg, 5 feet 6 inches tall and 64 kilograms, the current German national champion. Before we get things underway, let's have a little look at some of the important rules of the sport. The athletes have 1 minute to get a fair grip. Their elbows must remain on the 7x7 elbow pad throughout the round. The referee can award a running foul during the match, which is a little bit like playing an advantage in soccer. And an athlete on a running foul must win the pin in order to get the restart. 2 consecutive fouls by any athlete loses them the round. Here we go. And the old man of world arm wrestling, Cold Ian Stones, the artist formerly known as Cold Ian Stones, recently changed that name to Ian Two Big Stones. But he's going to need those big stones today as he faces a bigger, more powerful athlete in the current reigning German national champion. That's the man in the black t-shirt, and his name is Jan Targa. You can see straight away the size difference. Ian stepping up in weight, and he really is struggling early on to move Targa off the centre. But Targa cannot move the smaller man either. Deadlocked in the centre of the table. Ian dropping a little low, and he lost the angle there. Targa had to work for it. Some frustration on the face of Ian Stones, but you can see, watch for this little bump now. Big bump there. Now that moved Stones off his bone line. There was a little drop, and when he did that, he lost the angle. Winner, Jan Targa, with first blood. Talking of experience, Udo Weiss working in the corner of Jan Targa.
Keep the static locked, keep it locked, and keep it steady.
I need to work back a bit.
The Hailraiser, working in the corner of his friend.
Yeah.
Two Big Stones. It's the man in the grey shirt.
Don't move there.
Giving away a lot of leverage in this match. That's a bad start from Ian in terms of hand and wrist positioning, but he's playing mental games with the German, and Stone's able to hang on to that, and I really don't know how.
Oh yeah, we had it on.
Got into a good position on the arm, but a terrible position on the hand and wrist. You can see how tight the German is by contrast. Jan Targa there, folded in close, big drive. And though he's having to work for his money, Targa is off to a flyer, 2-0 Germany.
You guys look evenly strong up there. You just got to get into your position first, okay? Get in your position first, boom, and then just stay locked and stay tight and focus on keeping this distance close. Don't separate.
Excellent advice from Jeff, the Hailraiser Hale. But you can see once again, really is striking the size difference in this match. The broader weight categories at bantamweight and the Arm War Super Series really make a difference. And Ian Stones is at the bottom of the category, while Targa is firmly at the absolute top of it. Stones with a tremendous display of power, hanging on to the ragging, driving Targa. But collateral damage done. And Stones is unable to set his power and to adjust onto his tricep. Look how open he is there. Dug right in on the front of the pad, trying to keep his base. As Jeff Hale rightly said, he needs to keep that lock, but it's hard to do that when the man is so much bigger in terms of his levers and angles.
So close. It was a lot closer that time. You want one of the platforms to get a little higher? Come on, Ian. Get in there.
I have to change my shoes. Can you get me boots? And I'll go on platform.
On the platform now?
I've had time, Ginge. Change my shoes and put a box on. I've had time.
Okay.
Ian Stones going to put on the platform boots, just to give him that additional height at the table. Ian's a shorter man, and the table built to suit a man of 6 feet in height, but in this match he needs to keep close and tight. It's whether the damage has been done, as we see a new taller version of Ian Stones back at the table now. but still you can see the difference is the leverage, the length of the arm. But that's a lot better from Stones when he tightens in there. He really has massive power for a man of this weight. You can see that Targa is just dragging and driving, and the superior leverage of Jan Targa is doing him massive favours in terms of the hand and wrist. And it's another pin for Targa. Ian Stones making a battle of every single one of these as we watch it on the replay. Look how dug in he is there, trying to pin over to his side of the table with his shoulder and his whole body, but the arm unable to follow, and it's purely because of the leverage advantage that the man in the black t-shirt possesses. The lower Ian drops into his wrist and hand.
Right thing. When you get down low like that and he starts to hit, separate you a little bit, stand back up,
I know.
adjust. You got to constantly adjust.
Once again, perfect advice, perfect analysis from the Hail Raiser. As Ian starts to drive down, the lower he gets, the more Jan Targa's upper forearm engages with his own lower fingers. Look at that again, he's right into the hand and wrist, and that's the most evidence we've seen of it. It's a running foul for Targa. He secures the pin, but Ian Stones there sacrificed the wrist and hand. That is not good for the young Englishman.
A little bit there on that wrist, please. Both of you, a little bit.
Ian, as I said at the top of the broadcast, 50 years old, but this guy is pulling so well. Oh, massive hit from Targa. Stones trying to roll the hand. Little counter, but Targa goes into his own top roll, and we will go into the strap. You can see the huge hands, long levers at this weight class that the German athlete possesses. Targa has massive weaponry. Ian needs to try to keep his wrist engaged with the strap and apply the pressure from that position, but his hand has been sacrificed and the leverage is swept away from him. Jan Targa with the win, and the German is putting on a display now on home ground. Once the wrist and hand is sacrificed, nowhere to go for Ian Stones. Fought very, very bravely through the first 4 rounds, but once the hand and wrist is burned, very difficult to apply the power, and Jan
I have to
Targa
try it just to see if it works.
with the win.
It's a good move. You're down now. You just
Sold it too much, I had it too high, too quick.
Yep.
Ian Stones, super experienced, knows exactly where he went wrong. The problem is he will also know that that will have done damage to his hand and wrist, and it will be difficult now. Very difficult for him to maintain it, and you can see it sacrifice early. And Targa with the win, 6-0 straight. The disappointment evident on the face of Ian Stones.